Hey y'all, it's me, Linda from How to Eat for CKD. Oh God, I should make that into like a little tune, right? Oh my God, I get like somebody to do a big jingle for it or something. I just heard myself do it. Hey. Anyways, so I get the top question, of course, all the time, right? How do I eat for CKD? How do I make this work, right? Okay, well, let's do a little run through, shall we? So I'm here to tell you that you can successfully and confidently eat for CKD if you have the right information and you know the processes you need, and they are all within your specific little toolkit, right? Because, without them, you're just going to keep spinning circles. You're not really going to get anywhere. So kind of like a car, wheel in the mud. Well, up here, let's see, snow. It would be snow up here. Yeah. Anyway, I know firsthand. We've lived through this, okay? And that is why, I'm begging you, just stop spinning your wheels. You don't need to any longer, okay? So successful CKD eating is going to start with having the dependable resources where you find that accurate information that you need. It's got to be accurate and it's got to be reliable, so you can look up what the nutrition is of those foods you're eating. And I realized right away right away that there was no way I could be certain that what we were eating is falling within my husband's nutritional needs if I didn't even know like what nutrients were in the foods we were eating, right? I'm sure you've been through this. You've dealt with this. Next, you have to have acceptable food lists. And guys, these lists that you need, that you really do need, have to have way more than like common ingredients. A lot of those lists, even when you find those big lists out there, right? They're still only highlighting most of the common ingredients. They're not giving you, right? Are they telling you the nutritional value of the yeast you put in your bread? Are they telling you the nutritional value of stuff like xanthan gum if you're using it? If you're low carb or gluten-free or something, you're going to possibly be using that. All those thickeners, the leaveners, all of those things have a nutritional value. Spices and herbs, all of it. And you need to know those, and you need to have lists that are hyper extensive, so they cover as many foods as you can think of, because you don't want to stick to just a little number of foods, right? If you're doing that right now, if you're sticking to little numbers of food, there's so much more out there. You just don't realize it because you don't have the lists, right? You need to have them. Excuse me. And, if you have food allergens and if you are following that alternative diet, gluten-free, low carb, non-dairy, vegan, or vegetarian, one of those, you have to know what to look for, what you can use. There's a lot of products out there. There's a lot of great products out there that work perfectly for CKD. You just got to know how to use them right. So you need to have those lists, right? And then you need to know, this is so important. You need to know, and you've heard me talk about it, your daily base guideline meal and snack numbers, right? These numbers are going to help you to know what recipes and ingredients are acceptable for you. Okay. So speaking of these, special little key numbers, so the trick with these is, you're going to have those days like holidays, family gatherings, barbecue time, whatever it's going on, birthdays. You're going to have these days where you're going to want to splurge. You're going to be out of your normal CKD eating routine, right? You're going to splurge. You want to splurge. And heck, even on Wednesday, if I want to have those enchiladas, right? You have to know how to take that nutrition for the day and adjust it, right? You have to do some wiggling around there. And also the big thing is leaving room for those snacks, because we're all going to do it, right? You get your auntie, what's her name, bringing over that dessert that, oh my God, you've loved since you were 3, and you want to have that dessert. You're looking at it going, oh God, can I have it? I don't know. And you're probably over there scratching away on some kind of tally thing going, I got to figure this out. How much, do you know how much phosphorus is in that? No. Right? Oh, let's simplify this. There's an easy way to figure this out. And that's one of the big things you're going to find out. You need to know. Okay. Excuse me. I've got the whole allergy thing going on. I think I'm allergic to my cat. And that's okay. Anyway. So from there, you're going to use those numbers, right? And you are going to learn how to tweak recipes that you find. Now, I've covered this in the other videos. The fact that the recipes you're finding in books and online are not necessarily going to fit your needs. Okay. That book that, people are buying on Amazon, you've got people in upper stage 2 and people in lower stage 4, all using this book, all using these recipes. That's not going to fit everybody. And one person's going to underconsume nutrients, the other's going to overconsume, and bam, hello, dialysis. Not what we want, right? Okay, so you've heard me rant about it. I'm going to keep ranting and raving about that because, oh my God, it's so important. Anyway, I don't want this video to be too long. So those, the daily base guideline meal and snack numbers you're going to use to look for recipes and know how to tweak them so they fit for you, right? And, when it comes to like making those adaptations, it can really be a lot of fun. Gets your creative juices flowing, right? And when you're trying to do that, we're going to come back around real quick. In order to do that, you need to know what you can use, right? So those lists I talk about need to have a section showing you, here's the ingredient, here's your good options for subs, right? And then you choose what sub you want. You head over to the food lists, you find out what category that falls in. So Brussels sprouts, I got to take that out because my 6-year-old's not going to eat them. Okay, that's in the medium category, let's just say. And then you look at the subs and go, oh, okay, I'm going, I'm looking at this zucchini. How about that? And you go over here and you go, oh, wait, zucchini's in the high category. Oh, can't use that. You're going to go and you're going to do this and you're going to find the one you want that is either in that same category or lower category, right? And then it's perfectly fine to just make that swap. Boom, done, go. And your little 6-year-old will be thrilled. They don't have to eat their Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. I don't know why they don't eat them, but that's anyways. So now it doesn't stop here. Now we have to know labels, right? You have to know what you're looking for on there. I have a helpful little guide that says, okay, here's your best options. These are okay, but if so, look for this stuff, make sure, double check. And then these, just put it back on the shelf, just right. But then there's going to be products like soy sauce that aren't going to fall in there, because even the low sodium soy sauce, even though it's going to fall in the put it back on the shelf, you can still have it, you can still use it. It's just that we use it in small amounts, right? So you got to learn all of these little tricks that go with everything. Like I can't explain all of this in like a video or a 1-pager. I can't do it. That's why I had to make the books. That's why I had to create the online program, because this is a process and there's so much to it. And I know it sounds like a lot. Oh, there's so much to it. There is, but it's not hard to learn, because you start reading it and you go, oh yeah, why didn't I? Oh, totally. Why didn't I? Right? You're constantly like, why didn't I see that or put it together? Oh my gosh. The simplest of things. And that's what a lot of this is. But for some reason, it's the things that have to be shown to people. And then it clicks. So don't worry, it's not super overwhelming. I don't want to freak you out. But yes, it's a lot of information, but it's easy to get through. Okay, so let's see. Labels. Yes. And when we're talking about labels, we're looking at the ingredient list, right? And there's going to be a lot of those words, those technical, scientific-y little words that they like to use. You got to know what they are, right? So instead of having you being like, well, what the heck is this? Doing a Google search, I got it all for you. It's all put together. And I've got just like this document. You can just punch a word search, boom, there it is. You know what it is. Or I also have it listed out like for potassium, phosphorus, and sodium and protein. I have it all listed out what these words are. So that way you can, look through, and if you're like, I've seen that on this, and you grab your product, you're like, oh, so this is what it is. There's some ingredients that my favorite is the fact that there's one out there. I can't remember offhand what the name of it is because it's one of those big scientific names, right? But it has potassium within it, but it's actually a phosphorus additive. Isn't that fun? So, like I said, these are all these things that I figured out I want to share with you. So anyways, labels, yes, super important. Ingredients, super important. And then we go through and help you work on understanding those ingredients, because those can help you to gauge nutrition in a product as well. Okay, so then once you get past that, oh wait, last mention on those labels, that little box with the percentage, right? We have potassium, it's 12%. What does that mean? What does that mean? There's a way to figure that out. And then you got all this done. We're gonna, talk about, there's so many places to find great ingredients. There are so many products that are perfect for CKD. And that's something, that we work through too. I want to show you how to do that. So you have to understand where to look, how to investigate and find these, right? And then you have to move into your meal planning. And this is where you want to simplify things. So you're going to meal plan 1 week at a time. You're going to be able to have everything laid out, have your grocery list all set. And when we do this, we're going to show you the process. So that way, that tallying that you have to, you're scratching that pad, remember? Trying to figure out your intake. We're going to eliminate that. So it's only once per week. And so you're going to get through all of that, right? Okay, it all sounds great, but then you have to cook. And a lot of those recipes that you might be relying on aren't so great. We've been there. No. So with CKD eating, because we can't be using that salt, you have to know how to cook the foods to bring about the most flavor, how to use the seasonings to bring that flavor forward so you're not missing the salt. There's a whole lot that goes into that. And it's not just your standard cooking show stuff that you're going to see. Okay. No, there's more to it. And I share all that with you. And on top of that, excuse me, what happens with CKD eating also is a lot of times, well, we're only going to use like a half a pound of ground beef, or we're only going to use, a cup of this or a half a cup of that. And suddenly we have these leftovers, and you got to know, one, how to store them properly so they aren't going bad right away. And two, you need to know how to make a plan to use them up. We don't need to be wasting money in food, right? And so we go through the process of showing you how to deal with all this. We get you organized and we help you with all of it. So there's a lot of pieces, to this CKD eating game, right? So it really comes down to you, like I said, you need to have the information, the right information, and you need to have the right processes within your toolkit to make it work. I'm not going to lie to you and try and tell you that it's easy, like, oh, just do this and just do that. It's not that simple. If you want to do it right, if you want to have the same results that we've had, then you need to have the right information and processes. So, one small little step forward is basically going to start you on your way to CKD eating successfully for life. But you can't get there if you don't start, right? Okay, so, we've covered a lot of stuff of what's kind of the process, the steps, or whatever, is needed in order to make this work. And so I hope you have your wheels spinning up there going, okay, all right, I get it. So, have a think. If you're ready to, stop spinning your wheels and fill up that toolkit with everything you need, I am here to help you. And as always, head on over to howtoeatforckd.com. That's going to give you all the information that you need. Okay, I would love to work with you and to help you get the results that you need. Because I guarantee you will.